Hello students, good afternoon. Welcome to the live paper discussion, Physics Wala Vidyapeeth, Hyderabad. So we are ready, three members ready with morning session paper live discussion. Based on student memory, we have collected a good number of questions. So we are going to start a paper discussion now with our team. Myself, Nagaraju, chemistry lecturer.
Gopal, physics faculty, and we have Karan sir, faculty here at PW. So let's start the discussion.
Yeah.
How was the paper?
So coming to the chemistry, the trend is almost similar from last 2 years, and good number of questions from straight away from NCERT concept. But I have noticed this time beyond memory, that number is less. That is a good thing for MPC students. Always I feel for MPC students, conceptual way of framing of question is good thing. So I feel now the paper is standard. Now today's paper and yesterday's paper, day before yesterday's papers, good number of standard questions are there. And of course, a few questions, memory based questions also there from inorganic, but all are straight away from NCERT. What about physics, sir?
Physics compared to last few years, this series is much better. Like most of them are not just based on formula based, it is application based. Concepts are simple, very simple concepts. But if you just substitute the formula and say I want to get the answer, you may not get every time. So it's a good paper for JEE. In the sense that those who are students who prepare nicely and who have the good clarity of the concepts, they will do nicely. But those who just depend on I just substitute the formula, they may not be able to do success so much with that. But overall paper compared to last year is little better, higher standard. It's not very easy paper this time. All three paper are fifth paper. All of them are almost similar pattern. Pattern is same compared to last year's, same similar topics, same concepts, but the questions types are little better in the sense that actually they are asking more application oriented, not just direct substitution of formula.
So MPC students always like conceptual based question. It's a good thing actually.
So Karan sir, how do you think about more?
I think that so far as maths is concerned, in last two shifts, it has been a bit more challenging, more lengthy problems were
Lengthy,
there.
more time taking.
But now in today's paper, what we are observing from the questions which we have collected, questions are in comparison very easy, simple. So I think students will feel happy today after writing maths paper because they have a phobia from maths. They are very
Yes.
scared from maths every time. So
Yes.
let's see. Today we should see smiling faces from maths section also.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Right, students. So we'll start with chemistry first. And we have collected questions based on student memory, and we'll try to discuss as many as we can. So let's start with inorganic chemistry memory based part. And before going to start inorganic chemistry students, so every year from last 3 years onwards, we are suggesting two important chapters from second inorganic chemistry, D, F block elements and coordination chemistry. I have noticed yesterday also D and F block elements 2 questions, coordination chemistry 2 questions. Even today also we got the questions from D and F block elements. So the most important topic for mains exam, D, F and coordination chemistry. So P block elements, main syllabus, general atomic, physical and chemical properties of elements are there. The question is physical properties of elements, group 60. The large difference in the melting and boiling point of oxygen and sulfur. Oxygen and sulfur. The melting point, boiling point, interatomic forces for within atoms, and if an element is exist in its molecular form, IMF, intermolecular force of attraction. So these are the deciding factors for boiling point. And coming to melting point, packing capacity also important. Packing capacity also important. So let's go through the structure of oxygen. So O2 is a diatomic molecule, linear, whereas sulfur exists as S8. So this is how oxygen exists, and sulfur exists as octaatomic molecule. Oxygen exists as diatomic molecule, sulfur exists as octaatomic molecule. So surface area. Surface area is one key factor to decide the IMF. Obviously, surface area is more for S8, less for O2. So the main difference in melting point and boiling point, out of 4 options, one is atomic size, electron gain enthalpy, it's a tendency towards electron acceptance, and electronegativity, it's a property of bonded atom to withdraw bonding electrons. So here the deciding factor is atomicity. Out of 4 options, it's better go with atomicity, but actually melting point, boiling point are decided by intermolecular forces and packing capacity. And of course, those are depends on atomicity. Sulfur atomicity is 8, oxygen atomicity is 2 here. So correct option for this question is atomicity. So straight away from NCERT, group 16, second year inorganic chemistry, P block elements. Yes, strongest oxidizing agent, F block elements. So from last 3 years, F block elements, D block elements, weightage is more for mains exam. We need to give more priority for D and F block elements, and it's easy scoring also. So more than one question also they are giving in mains exam. So F block elements, as we know, common oxidation state +3. Common oxidation state of F block elements is +3. So of course, these are all lanthanides. Cerium, praseodymium, neodymium, promethium, samarium, europium, gadolinium, terbium. These are 4F series. So 4F series electronic configurations, one is important point. Second one is oxidation state stability, the second important point. So +3 oxidation state is more stable for F block elements. So cerium, of course, its electrode potential value is given in NCERT. And one important info is also given. Cerium +4 is good analytical agent, as it is given in NCERT. So its electrode potential, cerium +4 to cerium +3, it's approximately 1.73 or 1.74 volts. It is given in NCERT. So cerium, of course, cerium +4 configuration is its F0 configuration. So +3 is more stable than +4. So cerium +4 +1 electron gives cerium +3. So this is the reduction. A species which is undergoing reduction acts as oxidizing agent. Species which undergoes reduction act as oxidizing agent. Cerium +4 is a good oxidizing agent. Now europium +2 to +3. Ytterbium +2 to +3. So +2 to +3. Obviously samarium +2 to +3. So +2, shortage of 2 electron, +3, shortage of 3 electron. +2 to +3, loss of 1 electron, undergoing oxidation. Species which undergoes oxidation act as reducing agent. So if you observe carefully options with smart work also, you will get answer for this question, right? But NCERT cerium +4, NCERT it is given along with electrode potential value. It's a good analytical agent also. So third option is correct. This is also straight away from NCERT. As expected, every year we are getting good number of questions from D block, F block elements and coordination chemistry. So the question is from F block elements, lanthanides, 4F series. So next one is a dipole moment, a chemical bonding. Dipole moment, it's a chemical bonding. Whenever a single bond is there, dipole moment is based on electronegative difference within a molecule. If molecule contains more than one bond, so parallelogram law of vectors, resultant we need to consider. So first I'll start with CH4. Carbon valence electrons are 4 and it has a 4 bonds. So it is example of AB4. So it's a symmetrical structure, CH4. Symmetrical structure. So symmetrical structure dipole moment is 0. This is the point actually given in books, but it is the concept of parallelogram law of vectors. And here one hydrogen, if you replace with chlorine, its dipole moment is not equal to 0. And if you replace all 4 hydrogens with chlorine, dipole moment is equal to 0. So parallelogram law of vector, better approach with the concept. But in books, they'll give the point, all symmetrical compounds, dipole moment value is 0, that point is correct. It comes from dipole moment calculation only. So yes, hybridization also important. It's a AB4, sp3, a tetrahedral. Bond angle 109.28. So second one is NH3. Nitrogen is a central atom. Valence electrons are 5. Valence electrons are 5. So here it is forming only 3 bonds. The remaining 2 electrons exist as one lone pair. Okay, 3 plus 1, 4. Hybridization is sp3. Hybridization is sp3. So here nitrogen has one lone pair electrons. Nitrogen has one lone pair electrons and 3 bond pairs. 3 bond pairs. So yes, parallelogram law of vectors concept. Nitrogen, hydrogen, which is more electronegative? Nitrogen is more electronegative. A symbol of dipole moment. Arrow is towards more electronegative atom. So nitrogen, hydrogen, nitrogen is more electronegative. Nitrogen is more electronegative. The resultant of these 3. Of course, resultant of 2, uske baad aur ek, and here lone pair electron also we need to consider. So overall, its dipole moment is not equal to 0. Its dipole moment is not equal to 0. It's going to be at. It's going to be at. So there is important example also there in NCERT, NH3 NF3 dipole moment comparison. This is also from NCERT only. NH3 NF3 dipole moment comparison is there in NCERT. So NH3 is given. Yes. Next one is water. AB2E2. AB2E2. So H2O, central atom is oxygen. 6 valence electrons. It is forming 2 bonds. The remaining 4 electrons exist as 2 lone pairs. 2 plus 2, 4. Its hybridization is sp3. And of course, a structure I'll give for ammonia. I forgot pyramidal. And this is a V shape or bent or angular. Here, 2 polar bonds are there. Oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen. Oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen. The resultant of these 2. The resultant of these 2. And yes, here for lone pair electrons also. The resultant of these 2. Here also it's going to be add factor. And yes, dipole moment is not equal to 0. Now, where dipole moment is more out of 3 cases? Obviously, for CH4 it is 0 last, and when compared with water and ammonia, oxygen and hydrogen has more polar bond, so H2 has more dipole moment than ammonia, so its contribution is more. So both cases it's a adding only, both the cases ammonia and water is adding only, but OH contribution is more than NH contribution because oxygen is more electronegative than nitrogen. So this is a dipole moment. This is also straight away question from NCERT only. Chemical bonding, dipole moment concept. Next, physical chemistry. Physical chemistry, of course, more weightage. Electrochemistry, chemical kinetics, solution. From these 3 chapters, you can expect questions. And from yesterday, day before yesterday, I have noticed we have good number of questions from atomic structure and mole concept. We have good number of questions. So here stoichiometry, mole concept, stoichiometry and limiting reagent concept, mixed concept question. 10 moles of carbon monoxide is given. 10 moles of carbon monoxide is given and it is reacting with 10 moles of Fe3O4. According to the reaction, what will be the weight of iron? They are asking. So they are asking amount of product. So first we need to identify all are present according to the stoichiometric relation. That is the first important thing. So whenever a reaction is given, so first thing we need to balance the reaction. Of course here balanced reaction is there. If reaction is not balanced, first balance the reaction. So don't take the data as it is and don't solve. First, better to check a reaction is balanced or not. If reaction is balanced, yes, then go for calculation part. Otherwise, first balance. So Fe3O4, 4 moles of carbon monoxide, 4CO2 plus Fe. So stoichiometric coefficients, left side 3 irons are there, right side 3 irons balanced. Oxygens total 8 oxygens balanced, 4 carbons balanced. Reaction is balanced. Reaction is balanced. Stoichiometric coefficients, 1 mole is reacting with 4 moles, forms 4 moles of CO2 and 3 moles of iron. Stoichiometric coefficients. So stoichiometric coefficients importance, every 1 mole requires 4 moles. Every 2 moles requires 8 moles. Every 3 moles requires 4 times. 4 times. So here what is given? 10 moles of Fe3O4 is given. 1 mole requires 4, 10 requires 40, but it is given 10. So what is LR? CO is LR. Limiting reagent. Repeating one more time. Every 1 mole of Fe3O4 requires 4 moles of CO. Every 1 mole of Fe3O4 requires 4 mole of CO. Right? If I take 2 moles, 4 times, 8 moles. If I take 3 moles, 4 times, 12 moles. How many moles is given? 10 moles. 10 moles require 4 times, 4 into 10, 40 moles required. But it is given 10 moles only. So CO is a limiting reagent. And this Fe3O4 is excess. It will not consume completely in the reaction. It will be left after the reaction. And second thing, whenever limiting reagent is given, product calculation, we have to calculate with respect to limiting reagent only. So take a limiting reagent and iron. So 4 moles gives 3 moles of iron. 4 moles gives 3 moles of iron. So then 10 moles. 10 moles. 4 is becoming 10 into 2.5. Here also into 2.5. 2.5 into 3 moles. So they're asking weight. Iron molar mass approximately 56 grams. So it's a 7.5 moles into 56 grams. That will be the answer. Repeating one more time, students. First reaction is balanced or not. That is very, very important. And of course, there is one more method. We can solve this. We can solve limiting reagent concept by using stoichiometric coefficients. Number of moles division, which is less, that will be the limiting reagent. We can solve in multiple ways. So based on stoichiometric coefficients, without that directly we can solve. Okay. So mole concept. Yesterday, day before yesterday, and today also we got the question from mole concept. Limiting reagent, mixed concept. So next one, process is non-spontaneous, thermodynamics. Yesterday and day before yesterday also, students, we have the questions related spontaneity, delta G, straight away questions. Spontaneous. Whenever reaction is spontaneous, delta G is negative. And whenever a process is non-spontaneous, delta G is positive. If the process is at equilibrium, delta G value is equal to 0. And of course, there is a relation delta G, delta H, delta S. Change in enthalpy, change in entropy, temperature, change in Gibbs free energy. This is the relation. So non-spontaneous and spontaneous. Non-spontaneous at freezing. So first freezing process, X solid to X liquid. X solid to X liquid, freezing process. So next boiling process, X liquid to X gas. Without going in detail, students, just try to understand freezing and boiling. Straight away will get the answer. Freezing, heating, delta H must be positive. Boiling, heating, delta H must be positive. See, both are negative. Delta H is positive, delta H is negative. So here 2 options ruled out. 2 options ruled out. And next one is freezing. The solid is changes to liquid. Boiling, liquid is changes to gas. So whenever physical state is changes, obviously randomness increases, right? So delta S is also positive in both the cases. Delta S is also positive in both the cases. So both the cases delta H is positive because freezing is heating and the boiling is also heating, right? We are giving heat, endothermic process. So delta H is positive in both the cases. And second thing, entropy, randomness. Randomness, same substance. If you convert a change physical state from solid to liquid, randomness increases. Liquid to gas, randomness increases. Delta S becomes positive. How to find delta S state function, right? Final state minus initial state. So both the cases delta H and delta S are positive. Both the cases delta H and delta S positive. So without going to this relation, just if you think a basic concept of boiling, basic concept of freezing, you'll get the answer for this. This is also a basic concept from NCERT only. Application part, freezing and boiling. Yes, an important chapter for all competitive exams from first year physical chemistry, ionic equilibrium. From ionic equilibrium, we discussed multiple times the importance of solubility product. Solubility product. Sparingly soluble salts. For sparingly soluble salts, we use this concept. It is 1:3 type. Chromium plus 3 plus 3OH minus. Solubility S and 3S. So KSP is equal to concentration of Cr plus 3, concentration of OH minus power 3, and this is S, this is 3S power 3. So KSP is equal to S into 27S power 3. So KSP is equal to 27S power 4. This is the relation for given chromium hydroxide compound. KSP, solubility product, and this is a solubility. The maximum amount that can dissolve, is called solubility. The solubility we can express in terms of mole per liter, gram per liter, in ml also. Always better solve the question based on given information in the question. But most of the time in books, in class, we discussed mole per liter. Okay. So first thing is relation. Yes. So what is given? KSP value is given 1.6 into 10 power minus 30. 1.6 into 10 power minus 30. Here S power 4 is there, right side, and here it is 1.6 into 10 power minus 30. So KSP value we must write in the form of power 4 so that it will get cancelled. And of course S value is also given 1.56 into 10 power minus 6. So given S value, it is 1.56 into 10 power minus 6. They are asking the value of X. So substitute the value, KSP value 1.6 into 10 power minus 30 is equal to 27 into S power 4. So numerator, denominator will better multiply with 10 or 100 or 1000. It's as per our convenience. Here S power 4 is there. So 8 power, I'll multiply with 100. So 1.6 into 10 power minus 30 into 10 power 2 into 10 power minus 2 is equal to 27 into S power 4. Okay, so 10 power minus 30, 10 power minus 2, I am writing 10 power minus 32, and 1.6 into 10 power 2, it is 160. So 160 upon 27 into 10 power minus 32 is equal to S power 4. 160 upon 27. So approximately 27, I'll take 30. 35 sir, 150. It's more than that. So obviously we'll get more than 5. Numerator value more than 5. So it is power 1 by 4. And this 10 power minus 32, I'll write 10 power minus 8 power 4 whole power 1 by 4, that is equal to S. So here these two will get cancelled, and obviously value is given, so no need to think about the calculation part. Approximately it must be 1.56 into 10 power minus 8 is S. So yes, they are asking x value, so x value is equal to 8. So calculation part is also not that difficult because 1.56 is given. Otherwise, no doubt it's little difficult because 160 upon 27 whole power 1 by 4, definitely it will take time, but it is given. So now problem is easy only for us, calculation point of view. So this is a straight away concept based question, KSP, solubility product and solubility relation. 1:3 type. 1:3 type, it's 27 S power 4 KSP. Yes, next, I think inorganic chemistry we have done. Organic chemistry, yes. Order of nucleophilic addition. Order of nucleophilic addition. Nucleophilic addition, characteristic reactions of aldehydes and ketones. Nucleophilic additions, characteristic reactions of aldehydes and ketones. So carbonyl group, a carbonyl group, oxygen partially negative, carbon partially positive. A nucleophile, RDS step, the nucleophile readily attacks the electrophilic carbon, RDS rate determining step. So now we have a tetrahedral intermediate. So next step, electrophile will attack this O minus. This is overall reaction, nucleophilic addition of aldehydes and ketones. Nucleophilic addition reactions of aldehydes and ketones. A nucleophile is adding electrophilic carbon. Just imagine, students, we have 3 or of course 4 compounds are given. So 4 compounds contain this carbonyl group. Which carbonyl carbon will attack nucleophile more readily? Obviously, if this carbon has more electron deficiency, because the carbon is electrophilic in nature, right? The carbon is electrophilic in nature. So nucleophile readily attacks this electrophilic carbon. Right? Just imagine if electron deficiency is more here. If electron deficiency is more here, that is more reactive. If electron donating groups are there, its electron deficiency is less, right? So rate of reactivity is directly proportional to electron deficiency. Rate of reactivity is directly proportional to electron deficiency. At carbonyl carbon. Second important thing is steric crowding. Once if this carbon has more steric crowding, then for nucleophile it is very difficult to attack. So inversely proportional to steric crowding. Once electron deficiency is more, it readily attacks. If steric crowding is more, tendency to attack that electrophilic carbon decreases. So rate of reactivity depends on mainly 2 points. One is electron deficiency at carbonyl carbon. Second one is steric crowding. For more reactivity, there must be more electron deficiency, less steric crowding. So first, what is given? Acetophenone is given. Acetophenone. And of course, I'll compare aldehydes and ketones also. Aldehyde, there is only one electron donating group. And ketone, there are two donating groups. Aldehyde, one donating group, and ketone, two donating groups, and ketone has more steric crowding when compared with aldehydes. So when compared with aldehydes and ketones, aldehydes are more reactive towards nucleophilic addition. So first reason, electron deficiency at this carbonyl is more because only one electron donating group is there. Here two electron donating groups are there, so electron deficiency is less. And second important point, steric factor. Here steric crowding is less, here steric crowding is more. So that's why aldehydes are more reactive than ketones towards nucleophilic additions. So first one is estophenone ketone, and there is a donating group. Methyl group is a donating group and more steric crowding also. One is phenyl group, one is methyl group. And next one is para-nitrobenzaldehyde. Para-nitrobenzaldehyde. Mesomeric effect, resonance effect operates at ortho and para positions, right? Here NO2 group has minus mesomeric effect and resonance effect. Of course, inductive effect is also there, but it is a negligible, distance dependent. Inductive effect is a distance dependent, it's a negligible. So from carbonyl group it is a far away. So what is dominating here? A mesomeric and resonance effect only dominating. So it is a powerful electron withdrawing group. Once if electron withdrawing group is there, electron deficiency is more. So third one is benzaldehyde. Without donating, without withdrawing, simply aldehyde group is attached with benzene ring. And last one, methyl group is present. Last one, methyl group is present. So here methyl group is there. Methyl group is electron donating. So electron donating group plus I effect, obviously distance dependent and negligible. Hyperconjugation operates at ortho and para position. So methyl group is electron donating group. So where electron deficiency is more out of 4? Second one, para-nitrobenzaldehyde. So only two options are there. So these two are ruled out. Third and fourth are ruled out. Now coming to 1 and 2. One is ketone and second one is coming to A and B. 2 is there and here 3, 4 is given. So fourth one, para position methyl group is there. So electron donating group. And here third is benzaldehyde. Third is benzaldehyde. So benzaldehyde is more reactive than benzaldehyde is more reactive. So I'll go with first option. Why benzaldehyde is more reactive than benzaldehyde with methyl group at para position? It is electron donating group. As we discussed, rate of reactivity is directly proportional to electron deficiency at carbonyl carbon. Once if electron deficiency is more, any group that makes more electron deficient, that is more reactive. And if species has electron donating group, that is less reactive towards nucleophilic addition. And this is also from NCERT only. Aldehydes and ketones, secondary organic chemistry. Aldehydes, ketones, characteristic reactions are nucleophilic additions. Those who worked NCERT thoroughly, you can solve this question easily. Next, it should not be ribose. Ribose actually present in RNA, and DNA it is a deoxyribose is present. So I'll replace it's a pentose sugar. There is a pentose sugar present in both DNA and RNA. So RNA and DNA. And deoxy at second carbon deoxy, removal of oxygen. So there only hydrogen is present, OH and hydrogen, OH and hydrogen, CH2OH. This is beta D2 deoxyribose. And this is a ribose. Both are beta forms only. And once try to recall alpha D, beta D glucose structures. So whenever aldehyde group is present in hemiacetal form, they act as reducing sugars. So DNA, RNA both have pentose sugars, right? So first one is go through the A to E. It is a pentose sugar. Yes, correct. So next, present in pyranose form. Pyranose and furanose, these are the two important furan, including with oxygen 5 member, and this is a pyranose. So one is a furan and second one is a pyron. Now here the structure is similar to furan, so it is a furanose, not pyranose. So this is a wrong one. Alpha anomeric carbon, nahi hai, beta. If OH नीचे है तो O alpha. Present in D configuration, yes, this is correct. D configuration. It is a reducing sugar in free form. Free form, correct. So why? Because of hemiestol form. Hemiestol. Hemiestol, aldehyde plus 1 mole of alcohol gives hemiestol. Aldehyde plus 2 moles of alcohol gives acetol. Ketone plus 1 mole of alcohol, hemiketol. Ketone plus 2 moles of alcohol, ketol. So this is in aldehydes ketones. We discussed aldehydes ketones reaction with alcohols. Replication part is there in biomolecules. These two structures also there in NCERT. Straight away from NCERT based question only. But these are application part. The part, especially this E, reducing, non-reducing, we discussed much in carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. Compound reacts fastest with HBr. See, all are alkenes. Alkene part is there. C double bond C. In fact, cycloalkene. C double bond C. Nucleophilic, nucleophilic, and nucleophilic. Alkenes readily undergoes electrophilic additions. So reactivity is directly proportional to stability of carbocation. Question is based on reaction mechanism. For organic chemistry, NCERT, of course, we better to refer NCERT, but don't depend 100% NCERT only. Don't depend on 100% on NCERT only for organic chemistry. Better refer your class notes. Better refer your class notes also. Reactivity is directly proportional to stability of carbocation. See, one basic alkene I am taken, or CH double bond CH2. So electrophilic addition, first it will attack H plus. Positive charge is more stable on left side carbon because it is secondary carbocation. So right side carbon form bond with H plus. So this is the first step, RDS, alkenes electrophilic addition, and further carbocation is formed. Further, if there is a rearrangement, yes, it undergoes rearrangement. So next step, nucleophile will attack. Nucleophile will attack this carbocation. Nucleophile will attack this carbocation. So it is RCHNuCH3. This is the final product. This is the final product. So question is based on reaction mechanism. Question is based on reaction mechanism. Alkenes characteristic reactions are electrophilic addition reactions. Benzene characteristic reactions are electrophilic substitutions. Alkanes free radical substitution. Aldehydes ketones nucleophilic additions. Question is based on reaction mechanism. Question is based on reaction mechanism. So out of 4, which is giving more stable carbocation, that is more reactive. And one important point, students, out of all carbocation, whenever there is a C plus next to heteroatom with lone pair is the most stable. C plus next to heteroatom with lone pair, it's a back bonding. Atom with lone pair and atom with empty orbital, both are bonded. One atom have empty orbital, one atom have lone pair electrons, back bonding is possible. So option D, once if it is treated with H plus. So HBr, it ionizes H plus and Br minus. The pi bond will attack this H plus. Here positive charge will come. So more stable carbocation because oxygen have lone pair electrons. That will stabilizes. So reactivity is directly proportional to stability of carbocation. Is this question is straight away from NCERT? But the concept is there in NCERT. Alkenes undergoes electrophilic addition, application part. Reaction mechanism based question. Reaction mechanism. And this is second question, in fact. Just now we discussed the nucleophilic addition. That is also reaction mechanism based question only. That is also reaction mechanism based question only. Next one is from alkynes. Alkynes, tautomerism, aldehydes, ketones, mixed concept. Alkynes plus Hg plus 2 H2SO4, dilute H2SO4. Overall reaction is addition of water according to Marconi substrate. There is one more concept, HBO, hydroboration oxidation. These are the two important. This is overall reaction is addition of water according to Marconi-Cup rule. If HBO process is given, that is overall reaction addition of according to anti-Marconi-Cup rule. HBO process, what is the reagent? BH3, THF, solvent H2O2 OH minus, and here it is given Hg plus 2 Hg plus 2 and dilute H2SO4, dilute H2SO4. Overall reaction is addition of water. Overall reaction is addition of water according to Marconi-Cup rule. Followed by tautomerism. So why tautomerism? A tautomerism is catalyzed by acidic medium and basic medium. The reaction is taking place in acidic medium, so tautomerism takes place. So after adding water according to Marconi-Cup rule, it is a CH3, COH, double bond, CH and H. Yes, what is Marconi-Cup rule? I'll revise that also one more time. So Marconi-Cup rule, the negative part of the reagent attached to multiple bonded carbon which has less number of hydrogen. The negative part of the reagent attached to multiple bonded carbon which have less number of hydrogen. See, multiple bonded carbon, these two are the multiple bonded carbon which has less number of hydrogen, left carbon 0, right carbon 1. The negative part of water, OH group, so OH groups attacks this carbon and hydrogen will attack this carbon. Now this is enol form. This is enol form. Enol form undergoes tautomerism. Tautomerism catalyzed by acidic and basic medium. Tautomerism catalyzed by acidic and basic medium. Here the reaction is taking place in acidic medium. The reaction is taking place in acidic medium. So its tautomeric product is ketone and you will get acetone. This is a keto form. Again, it's a nucleophilic addition only. Second question. In fact, it's a mixed concept. More than one reagent is given. So aldehydes, ketones reaction with HCN, nucleophilic addition, cyanohydrin will form. This is the reaction actually takes place in basic medium because HCN is not a strong acid. So here base must be given, but it is not given in the question. So basic medium, it will ionization extent is more in basic medium because it is a weak acid. So H plus and cyanide minus, nucleophile, the product is CH3. Electrons moves towards oxygen. Whenever multiple bond is present between two different electronegative atoms, pi bond always moves towards more electronegative atom. Oxygen with negative charge, carbon with positive charge. So oxygen negative charge will attack positive part and carbon positive charge will attack with cyanide. C triple bond N. C triple bond N. And what is the next step? Adding hydrogen in presence of nickel. So triple bond becomes double bond becomes single bond. So once if pi bond is broken, each carbon will get one hydrogen. So after adding hydrogen in presence of nickel, so CH3, COH, CH3 and this is CH2NH2. This is the final answer. CH3, COH, CH3, CH2, NH2. All are there in NCERT, but all are not at one place. This is in alkynes chapter. This is aldehydes ketones chapter. Hydrogenation is a general reaction. But all are there in NCERT, not at one place. This is also from NCERT. If you refer NCERT effectively, you can solve this question. Dumas method, which gas is evolved? Yes, this is also straight away from NCERT. For nitrogen gas, we have two important methods. One is Geldahl's method, one is Dumas method. Geldahl's method is back titration concept. Dumas method is based on volume of nitrogen. Volume of nitrogen will calculate straight away question N2. Answer is N2 Dumas method. And students, those who are going to take exam in coming days, apart from Dumas method, refer Geldahl's method also. You can expect either Dumas method or Geldahl's method in final exam. Both are important. Both are there in NCERT only. Yes, my observation is yesterday, day before yesterday, and today chemistry. Even though you are saying it's easy, but I noticed standard questions are there, and most of questions are from NCERT only. I suggest all of you refer your NCERT along with NCERT your class notes also. Class notes also. So NCERT class notes, if you refer, definitely you will get a good number of marks. Good number of marks. I wish you all the best, students. So next physics lecturer will continue physics paper discussion. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, Nagaraj sir. Okay, so start our physics discussion. The sir has already concluded. You have seen the chemistry discussion also, that it's not straightforward questions, even though you can see it is everything is mostly from NCERT, but we have to have the clarity of the concept. So let us see how is the physics paper with some examples of the questions. We try to collect few of the questions, maybe not be complete, but as much as possible we will see. So this is the first question, based on mechanical properties of fluids. So a drop of radius r is split into 27 droplets of equal radius. In that case, work done is 10 joules. Then if the same drop is split into 64 droplets, what is the work done? So this is based on surface tension. So it is very simple. The work done is equal to change in surface energy. Formula for work done is change in surface energy, whereas surface energy is surface tension into surface area. So this is the basic concept here. And whenever a drop is broken into small droplets, the basic condition is that what remains constant? What remains constant is the volume. So suppose if we start with a drop of radius r, now it just breaks down into small droplets. Then what remains constant? So suppose the radius of this is r and the radius of each of them is small r. Then if you say volume is constant, we can say 4 by 3 pi r cube, the initial volume, equal to n times, suppose it's spring into drop, it is n times into 4 by 3 pi r cube, small r cube. So from this we get r cube equal to n small r cube, r capital R equal to n power 1 by 3 into small r. Then the formula for work done, if we calculate, the work done is change in surface energy. So if we compare these two cases of work done, we can say W2 by W1 is change in surface area in the second case by change in surface area in the first case. So what is the change in surface area? So change in surface area is final area minus initial area. So n into 4 pi small r square minus 4 pi capital R square by the same term repeated for second term. So what is common is 4 pi common. So we can just take the substitute these values now. So n2 second case it is 64 and r2 is n power minus 1 by 3 into capital R. So it is 64 power minus 2 by 3 whole square. Minus 1 by 3 whole square will become minus 2 by 3. Minus 1 by 27 into 27 power minus 2 by 3 minus 1. So this is 4 minus 1 3. This is 3 minus 1 2. So it is 3 by 2. So initial work done is 10 joules. So now the final work done in the second case will be 15 joules. So the option is second option. So it's conceptually it is very simple, but little bit of calculation is required. But you can say it is simple, or maybe you can say little moderate. So let us see the next question. So it is based on AC, RMS value of the current. So it's a straightforward question if you are already aware of, if you have practiced these questions. Otherwise, you can write it in the standard format also. So the IRMS in the general format, what you get is, suppose if I is I naught sine omega t plus delta, for this kind of a function, the RMS value is simply I naught by root 2. This one all of us are aware. So, but this looks like it doesn't look like in the same format as that now. So, if we convert that given current into this format, other function into this format, we can directly easily convert it as root of IA square plus IB square into sine of omega t plus delta. Some delta will come. So, this is the standard format of that. If we compare this here, the I naught value is root of IA square plus IB square. Then the RMS value of this will be by root 2 times of this. So the answer will be IRMS will be root of IA square plus IB square by root 2. So if we take the root 2 inside, it will be root of IA square plus IB square by 2. So this is option D. Okay, so this is option D. Okay, now let's see the next one. So you have seen this question is direct, straightforward. Just you have to transform this into the standard format, then you will get the answer in one step. Then generally students have a tendency to feel that the moment rotational mechanics question comes, we feel it is tough chapter. But what they are asking is the standard formats, if you remember. One question on moment of inertia, everybody can solve that. Similarly, another question that is general, what happens in case of pure rolling? In case of pure rolling, if you remember the basic things, it is very easy. So this is a question based on that pure rolling concept. A cylinder of mass m and radius r is released from rest at the top of a rough inclined plane, making an angle of 45 degrees with horizontal. Assuming that it is rolling without slipping. In mains, all the time question is asked is rolling without slipping only. They never ask, generally they don't ask a question where it is rolling with slipping. So here it is rolling without slipping. So we have to find the acceleration. Again, if we are aware, there is a standard formula for this. If you don't know, we can derive it. The standard formula for any body which is in rolling motion, if the force acting is only the force acting through the center. If only force is acting through the center, then the acceleration of the body is given by directly F by m into 1 plus k square by r square. This is the direct formula. So if we are aware, we can use it. If we are not aware, we can derive it in just in few steps also. So if you want to derive this expression, if you are not aware of this formula, then if you draw the free body diagram of this cylinder, the forces acting on this body will be applied force and frictional force. Then the equation of translational motion will be F minus F is ma, and the condition for rotational motion is torque equal to I alpha. The torque is produced by friction alone. Mg and normal will cancel. They will not produce any torque also here. So, and the condition for pure rolling is A equal to R alpha. when it is in pure rolling without slipping. So when we solve these three equations, we get this equation. This formula for acceleration will come. Now here when it comes to the problem, what is the force acting on this? The only force acting on this cylinder passing through the center, that is mg sine theta here in this direction. So in place of F, if we substitute, we will get directly the answer. So the acceleration formula will be mg sine theta by m into 1 plus k square by r square. So standard bodies, we should remember the values of k square by r square. So for cylinder it is 1 by 2. For a ring it is 1. Hollow cylinder, same as ring. Hollow sphere 2 by 3. Solid sphere 2 by 5. So it is given here is solid cylinder. So it will become g sine theta is 1 by root 2. 1 plus 1 by 2 is 3 by 2. So it becomes 2g by 3 root 2. It is 2g by 3 root 2. So option C here. Okay. So because it is from rotational mechanics, you may consider it like medium range. But again, otherwise, if you are aware, it is a very simple question, straightforward. These are the standard areas where questions are asked in rotational mechanics. One is either in moment of inertia, or second part is in case of what happens. Okay, so this is based on pure rolling. Next one, again rotational mechanics question only. It is based on the momentum. Direct straightforward calculation of angular momentum. So a body is projected with an initial velocity of v0 at an angle 45 degrees from horizontal and xy plane. So you have to find the angular momentum. It's a straightforward question. So the formula for angular momentum of a particle is given by m into r perpendicular. So at the highest point, we need to calculate angular momentum. When the particle is at highest point, we have to calculate the angular momentum about point of projection. About this point, we have to calculate angular momentum when it is at point P. So first thing we should do is draw the velocity vector and then perpendicular distance. So if you see the velocity vector, here at the highest point, velocity is horizontal, which will be v cos theta. Now from the point of projection, we need to calculate what is the perpendicular distance to the velocity. So if we extend the line of the velocity direction from point to a perpendicular distance is nothing but this, and this distance is same as this distance of maximum height. So angular momentum will be simply m into v into r perpendicular, so which is m into v0 cos theta into perpendicular distance is maximum height. So it is m v0 into cos theta. Maximum height formula is u square sine square theta by 2g. Now theta value is given as 45 degrees. So directly substitute this now. So angular momentum will be m into v0 cube. v0 into v0 square is v0 cube. Cos theta 1 by root 2. Sin theta is also 1 by root 2. So 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 whole square by 2g. So which will become m v0 cube by 4 root 2 into g. That's all. It is a direct formula based question on angular momentum. Very, very simple question. So we can very clearly understand even the rotational mechanics is a very large chapter, but the questions asked are very simple, very basic questions. Okay, let's see next one. Then ray optics. Again based on direct formula here. They're asking about optical power is changed or increased from 0.1 to 2.5 d. What is the relative shift of focal length? So we need to calculate the relative shift of focal length. What is the relation between focal length and power? The power is of focal length is 1 by P. So let us calculate the power in focal length in both the cases and then find out the direct formula. What is relative shift? Delta F by F is called relative shift. So first F1 is 1 by P1, which is 1 by 0.1, which is 10. Second case F2, which is 1 by P2, which is 1 by 2.5, which is 0.4 meters. So focal length initially is 10 meters, now it has gone to 0.4 meters. So what is the relative change? The relative change is delta F by F, which is change in F by F. So it is 10 minus 0.4 by 10. So this will become, if you take 0.4 common, it will become 25 minus 1, 24 by 25. Again, straightforward, easy question. Ray optics can be asked little more tougher, but they are given you very simple question again in ray optics. Very simple one. So option is A for this. So let us see the next one. So a spring block system has a time period of 2 seconds. The distance traveled by it is capital D and displacement of the block is given as small d. So you are asked to compare the ratio of distance to displacement. So it is in simple harmonic motion. It is oscillating. Suppose if this is the mean position, if a part, this is negative extreme and this is positive extreme. Of course, because it is on the collection of the memory of the students, the initial condition is not specified here. You can take one of the two extreme cases. Either it may be at mean position or it may be at extreme position at the starting point, we can assume suppose. So suppose if we assume that at t equal to 0, it is at mean position here and going like this. Then we have to calculate the distance and displacement. Time period is 2 seconds. Time taken to go from here to here is t by 4. Again back to here t by 4. Again back to here t by 4. And again back is t by 4. Now the total time they have given is 12.5 seconds. The total time that is given to us is 12.5 seconds, which is or if you want to compare with this t directly like this, I want to write it as 12.5 by the t. Into that number of times I want to write it as, okay, I'll just show it like this. So this is 12.5 seconds given to us, whereas the time period is given as 2 seconds to us. So when we divide these two, we get t equal to 6.25 times of time period, which is 60 plus t by 4. So when it completes 60 means it has completed 6 oscillations completely. It has come back here. So displacement becomes 0 after 60. And in t by 4 its displacement has become 0 to a. So at the end of this, the displacement is coming out to be simply a. This is the displacement. What about the distance? In each oscillation, the particle travels a distance of a and back a. 4a it is traveling in each oscillations. So there are total 6.25 oscillations. Then total distance traveled will be 4 into 6.25 into a. So which is 25a. So the ratio asked is capital D by small d. So capital D is 25a, small d is capital A. So ratio is simply 25:1. It is also very simple if you understand the basic concepts of SHM. This question is very simple in that sense also. The next one. Okay, these options are not relevant, slightly off here. So we'll forget about the answers, options. Just let us focus on the question here. So with the velocity, initial velocity V naught has a de Broglie wavelength lambda naught initially. If the electric field is present in space in this direction, then find the de Broglie wavelength of the particle at time t. Okay, again the question is also incomplete here because the direction of electric field is specified and the initial velocity direction is not specified. And also what is the nature of the charge is also not specified. So it can be multiple options can lead to, because if you don't have a specific relation. So the most probably I think the question can be like this. The initial velocity may be V naught I cap. Suppose there are two possibilities, or of course there are n number of possibilities here. We are taking one case first. It can be suppose V naught I cap initially, and it is a positively charged particle suppose. So initial velocity is V naught I cap. Now first we have to compare the de Broglie wavelength. So de Broglie wavelength formula is simply lambda equal to h by p or h by mv. So we need to find the final velocity here. We have initial velocity, we have given electric field. So to find the final velocity, we need to find acceleration here. So let us do that. So we can say v bar equal to u bar plus a bar t. So initial velocity is v naught I cap. Acceleration is q into e bar into t by m. Q into E is the force, the mass will give us acceleration. So suppose if you want to take like this, it will become V naught I cap plus Q by M into E naught K cap into T. So the velocity of this, its magnitude, if you want to take, it is root of V naught square plus Q E naught by M into T whole square. This is final velocity. So we want to compare de Broglie wavelength. So lambda dash or lambda 2 by lambda 1 equal to 1 by V2. So what was V1? So V1 is V naught and V2 is root of V naught square plus Q E naught into T by M whole square. That's it. So lambda 1 is given as lambda naught. So you can get the lambda 2 value as lambda naught. You can take V naught down. It will become root of 1 plus Q E naught T by M V naught whole square. So this is the new de Broglie wavelength for this particular case. It is again straightforward question. Little calculation is involved. As I discussed in the beginning, questions concepts are very simple, but you have to just know how to apply the different concepts in different positions. Then the questions are very easy only. So let us see the next one now. So one of the favorite chapters for students is current electricity. And that too, instead of so much thing, they have given such a simple question finally for us. Very, very simple question they have given you. This is the simplest question for this paper, we can say. Very simple question. So a wire of total resistance 9 ohms is bent into form of an equilateral triangle. So each part of the wire will have resistance of 3 ohms. 3 ohms, 3 ohms and 3 ohms. Each part has 3 ohms resistance, each side of the wire. Now he is asking effective or equivalent resistance between any 2 points of the side. So suppose if it's 2 points A and B here, across these 2 points A and B, we need to calculate effective resistance. So whenever you want to calculate effective resistance, imagine suppose there is a battery connected between those 2 points, so that you will get the clear clarity about how is the current flowing here. series and parallel combinations will become clear for you. So suppose the current I comes here, it splits here into I1 and I2. The same current is again flowing into this. So these two will become series. Then 3 and 3 series will become 6. And that will become parallel to 3 now. So the effective circuit is like this now. 3 and 3 series which becomes 6. And this remained as 3. So this is point A, this is point B. Now these two are parallel. The effective resistance will be 1 by R is 1 by 6 plus 1 by 3, which will be 1 by 2. So R effective is 2 ohms. Very, very simple question. Okay. So very simple question again here. So let us see the next one now. So force is given and displacement of the object is given and you are asked to calculate the work done. Work done is also given. You have to find out the value of some parameter in the force here. So this is again straightforward question in calculation of work done. This work per energy, generally either they ask a simple question on calculation of work done by basic formula or they may ask application of law of conservation of energy here. But here they have given very straightforward question of work done by a variable force. This is a variable force. So for a variable force, work done formula is W equal to integral F ds. So here displacement is along x-axis. So we can write it as integral F dx. Just directly substitute in this. So we get W equal to, our work done equal to integral A plus bx square dx, which will become ax plus bx cube by 3. Now the limits are from the displacement of the object is 1 meter. So limits of the displacement are from 0 to 1. So we get the value as A into 1 minus 0 plus b by 3 into 1 cube minus 0 cube. So now substitute the values given. Work done is 10. A value is 1 into 1 plus b by 3 into 1 by 1. That's it. 1 minus 0 is 1. So b by 3 is 9 and b value is 27. Another very, very simple question, straightforward calculation of work done by a variable force. So some of these questions makes that of all the things physics is the easiest one, because if you just know the basic formulas and the basic concept, you can attempt the question very easily. We haven't seen any question till now which are twisted or indirect. All the questions are direct, conceptual. If you know the proper concept, every question can be solved very easily till now. So let us see a few more questions like this. Yeah, this is one of the tough questions for this paper. In sense, concept part may appear to be little tougher. So the question is on flux. The electric flux to the shaded area of the square plate of quasi point placed at a distance a by 2 from it as shown in the figure. So this is the question it is asked. Now if you remember, one of the standard questions we discussed in classroom is this. Suppose if a charge q is placed at this of the cube, so the flux through all the entire cube will be given by flux through the cube will be q by epsilon naught. This is of side A, charge is at a by 2 distance. So you can imagine that this is placed at the center of a cube. So due to one side, then what can be the flux? The flux through one of the sides will be, because there are 6 sides, it will be 1 by 6 of q by epsilon naught. So up to this we generally discuss in class, every class notes we have this answer. This definitely this question is there. But now that is also divided into small parts now here. If you look at this charge q is placed symmetrically with respect to all these parts. If you see this is divided into If you say 4 quarters, this quarter is complete, this quarter is complete, this is empty, this quarter is half. So we can see we're dividing into total 8 parts, and how many parts are shaded? 2 here, 2 here, 1 here. Total 5 parts out of 8 are shaded. In the flux through the shade, one of the sides, that value is 1 by 6. So it will become 5 by 48 q by epsilon naught. So if you understand this logic, this is also very simple question only. Definitely, I'm sure every one of you remembered up to this point here. Plug through the cube is q by epsilon naught. Plug through one of the side is q by 6 epsilon naught. Now further you are dividing into small parts of that. So if we count the shaded area, it is only 5 by 8 times of the total side area. So we are getting only 5 by 8 of total flux. That is 5 by 48. So n value will be now 5. So this is, I think it is little tougher here, but it is also in one sense simple only if you have the clarity of the concept. So let us see the next one. So it is also again moving charges and magnitude. Very straightforward question, again standard questions which all the students might have practiced in class notes. A square loop of side 1 by root 2 is given, and through that a current of 5 amperes is flowing. Find the magnetic field at its center. It's a very standard question again. Most of the students must have definitely practiced this again. So you have a square loop, and we need to calculate the magnetic field at the center. So we know that if we divide them into 4 parts, for each part the magnetic field at center will be same, identical, symmetrically placed. So due to each part you calculate and multiply with 4 times, because it is placed symmetrically with respect to all the 4 parts, and the direction of magnetic field is also same due to any of these parts. If you see here, all the parts are producing outward magnetic field according to this. So total magnetic field will be 4 times of magnetic field produced by one of the wires. So due to any one of the wires, magnetic field formula is mu naught I by 4 pi r into sine alpha plus sine beta. See how easy they are trying to make the question. In alpha, beta, both are easy. Both are same, and that too because they are given it as a square. Angles are also 45 degrees. No need to worry also what is the angle calculation here. So suppose if I want to take this distance as A, then perpendicular distance from this point will be A by 2. The perpendicular distance will become A by 2, and alpha and beta values will be 45 and 45 degrees. So directly substitute this value here. So this will become 4 as it is. Mu naught by 4 pi we can replace it as 10 power minus 7. Current is 5. R is A by 2. A is 1 by root 2. So A by 2 will be 1 by 2 into 1 by root 2. A by 2 is 1 by 2 into 1 by root 2. And sine alpha, sine beta, both are sine 45, sine 45. So which is 1, 2 into 1 by root 2. So this 1 by root 2 got cancelled simply. So it will become 4, 4, 2, 4. So 4 into 2, 8, 8 into 2, 16, 16 into 5, 80 into 10 power minus 7, which will be 8 into 10 power minus 6, or 8 micro Tesla again. Very simple, straightforward question and direct formula based question. So very simple this is also. So let us see the next one now. So it is comparing the focal length of lens into different medium. So this is based on again direct substitution of the formula only, because every one of you must have studied this formula of calculation of focal length called as lens maker's formula. So what is the lens maker's formula? Says 1 by f equal to mu minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Only thing, it is very straightforward and simple. But any problems related to the optics, first caution for you is draw some rough diagram to understand what's happening. So it is a plano-convex lens. So plano-convex lens means one side is plane, another side is convex. So I can draw it like this. So plane surface means radius of curvature is infinity, and for the curved part they have given us the curvature. So if you substitute in this, for the first one we get 1 by f1 equal to mu is 1.5 minus 1 into 1 by infinity minus 1 by minus 2. The radius of curvature is 2 centimeters in the first case. I think the question here, they are saying it is same radius of curvature only. They did not comment about how does the radius of curvature can change here. So we don't even need this much part at all. We don't even need this one at all. If the radius of curvature is not changing, we just have to compare them in two different mediums. This mu has to be compared in two different mediums, that's all. So we can say f1 by f2 will be 1 by r mu2 minus 1 by mu1 minus 1. This mu is relative refractive index. Relative refractive index is refractive index of the lens by refractive index of the surroundings. So in the second case, it is 1.5 by 1.2 minus 1 by first case it is 1.5 minus 1. So this value comes out to be 1 by 4. This is 1 by 2, which is 1 by 2. So again, direct substitution or direct formula based question only we can say here. There is a possibility that because they have given the radius of curvature, it may be possible that the radius of curvature of second case is differently given in the problem. In such case, suppose the radius of curvature is given differently, then in that case we also have to compare the values of R1 and R2 in that case. Otherwise, in this case, we don't have to worry about even R1, R2 values at all. Directly we can compare them. So in that sense, it is very easy, or you may say little calculation based. So we have few more questions here, so we'll see them. So gravitation. If you see the pattern till now, this question paper set of questions coming from different chapters has not changed much at all. All the questions from the standard chapters have been coming up again and again. So in that sense, the pattern of questions are similar, and the chapters, the weightage of questions of the different chapters is also same. Not much changed compared to the last few years. Only little logically they are trying to make the question. But if you understand the concept, it's very, very simple again. So here they're asking about what is the change in the time period or comparing of time periods. What is the relation between time period and radius? One of the simple Kepler's laws, which says that t square is directly proportional to r cube for circular orbits. For circular orbits, t square is directly proportional to r cube. And now the changes are very, very small. It is changed from r to 1.03 r. So when the changes are very small, we can use approximations directly. What is that relation? T is directly proportional to r power 3 by 2. So we can say delta t by t is 3 by 2 times of delta r by r. By 2. So this will become 3 by 2 into 0.3 into percentage if you want to multiply. So 0.03. So which will become 9 by 2%. Very simple. One of the standard Kepler's laws. Very simple question in that sense. Okay. So this is also very simple. Let us see next one. So again, we know that from this is one of the questions from basic atomic physics. The electron makes a jump from a quantum state of A to C by releasing a photon of wavelength 200 angstroms, and again from B to C. Then what is the wavelength of the photon emitted in the transition from A to B directly? So we write it like this. So it is making a transition from A to C. A is higher energy state compared to C. So this is state A and this is state C. Now next case, it is making a transition from B to C. That means B is higher energy state, C is lower energy state. So this is B here. So for this, suppose the energy of the photon in this transition is lambda 1. For this transition, wavelength is suppose lambda 2. For this transition, wavelength is suppose lambda 3. So what can you say? The comparing of energies only here. Hc by lambda 1 equal to Ea minus Eb. And Hc by lambda 2 equal to Ea minus Ec. And Hc by lambda 3 equal to Eb minus Ec. Now we just want to get the relation between these three parameters now. So how? If I just add last two, now if I subtract last two, I'll get the first one. So we get Hc by lambda 2 minus Hc by lambda 3 is Hc by lambda 1. Because it is Ea minus Eb minus Ec plus Ec. So it will become Ea minus Eb. That's it. The relation between them is coming out to be 1 by lambda 1 is 1 by lambda 2 minus 1 by lambda 3, which is 1 by lambda 2 is the transition from A to C, that is 2000 angstrom, minus 1 by 6000 angstrom, which will be 1 by 3000 angstroms. The lambda what he is asking is simply 3000 angstroms here. Another straightforward question, but little calculation is involved. Physics is expected to have some calculation in every part. So this is, in that sense, it is direct basic concept only again. So we have done already 15 plus questions, I think. Maybe 1-2 more we can see, maybe, I think. So it's based on, again, thermodynamics, very straightforward question. The straightforward question here, for an ideal monatomic gas undergoing isobaric process, what is delta Q by delta U? Very simple. Delta Q in isobaric process is N Cp delta T, and delta U is N Cv delta T. Remember this? It doesn't depend on the process. Change in internal energy is a state on the process. It is, for any process, it is simply Ncp delta Ncv delta T only. Now you want the ratio, which is nothing but Cp by Cv, which you call it as gamma. And it is a monatomic gas. For monatomic gas, C by Cp by Cv value is simply 5 by 3, or gamma is 5 by 3. So very simple. So overall sense, if you see, if you understand the basic concepts, question paper is very easy. You can score every question very easily, but you have to have that clarity of the concept. So what we can recommend you is just go through the class notes of the teachers and just follow the basic concept clearly. It's very easy to score marks in physics. Okay, we have one of the questions which is not there as a slide, but I'll just add it and give you a simple logic here. I'll explain you what is the question here. So the question here is based on YDSC using bichromatic light. So the question they asked is, there are bichromatic light which consists of two wavelengths is used. One of them is 600 nanometers. Another one is 480 nanometers. When this bichromatic light is incident on YDSC setup, which order or which minimum order of second wavelength coincides with the bright fringe of the first wavelength again? some order of second wavelength has to coincide with some other order of bright fringe of the first wavelength. So which minimum order of the second wavelength is coinciding with that? So the basic formula again here, at a position of maximas or bright fringes are given by lambda n lambda d by d. So at the same position, one is forming bright, other one is also forming bright, but order of bright fringe can be different. So we can say n1 lambda 1 equal to n2 lambda 2. Because capital D is same, small d is same, we are just comparing the values of n1 and n2 here. So we can get n1 into 600 equal to n2 into 480. So this is 120 into 4 and this is 120 into 5. So the combinations of n1 and n2 we need now. So n1 n2 combinations can be, minimum combination you can get is 4 comma 5 are all multiples, 8 comma 10 are 12 comma 15 and so on. But you want minimum, the minimum combination is n1 is 4, n2 is 5. He is asking which minimum order of second wavelength. So minimum order of second wavelength is 5. So answer is again here 5. That's all. So these are some of the questions that we could collect now. So hopefully most of you are done with your exam pattern. Martin, all the best. Now our current sir will take over and continue with maths. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. So, a very good afternoon, all of you, dear students. I hope you have done very nice in today's paper. Paper was very simple in comparison to the previous shifts. And I hope you all are comfortable enough. Let us start our discussion and see step by step how you have performed. And let me take your comments also in the comment section. So, the first question was from binomial theorem, such a simple problem as we discussed in the class itself, that you guys should be very comfortable in writing the general term of the binomial theorem. So the here question goes like this, that if the fifth term, sixth term and seventh term, right, of the binomial expansion which is given by 1 plus x square raised to power n plus 4, they are given in AP. It means T5, T6, T7, they are in AP, right? So if they are in AP, what is the meaning? Meaning is twice of the middle term, that is 2 times T6 is equal to T5 plus T7. That is the simple part. Now, we should write the general term of binomial theorem. That is TR plus 1. Always it is TR plus 1, which is nothing but NCR x raised to power n minus r y raised to power r. Same thing we have to write it here. So now we have 1 plus x square raised to power n plus 4. We want to write T5. What is T5? T5 is nothing but T4 plus 1. So if we apply T4 plus 1, what is T4 plus 1? We'll get n plus 4 C4. Yes or no? And with x square, whatever, because we will not write that, because we are just interested in the coefficients, which is the coefficient of fifth and sixth term. Similarly, what is T6? T6 will be nothing but T5 plus 1. What is T5 plus 1? That is nothing but n plus 4 C5. Students, yes or no? Now, similarly, we can also write T7. T7 will be nothing but T6 plus 1, which is nothing but n plus 4 C6. So we just written the coefficients. Now we just need to put these particular values in this particular equation. Let us see what do we get. So what was the equation? Equation was 2 times T6. So 2 times T6, that was equal to T5 plus T7, right? So what is your T5? You can see there, n plus 4 C4. Again, what is your T? T5 is n plus 4C4. Sorry, here we have to write T6. Sorry. So T6 was n plus 4C5. So just make a correction here. Here it has to be 5. And here we have T5, which is nothing but n plus 4C4. And we also have T7 here. What is T7? We can observe there n plus 4C6. I hope all of you have reached to this step. Let me see your comments in the chat section. Very nice. All of you are replying. Now we just need to expand this NCR with the formula, which is nothing but n factorial by n minus r factorial into r factorial. Just based on this, we have to solve it now. Let us solve it very quickly. What is this? This is nothing but 2 into n plus 4 factorial divided by n plus 4 minus 5, which is n minus 1 factorial, into 5 factorial. Yes or no? This is equal to n plus 4C4. Again apply the same formula, students. N plus 4 factorial divided by, subtract this, will get n factorial into 4 factorial, plus what is the last term? Again n plus 4 factorial divided by, just subtract them. What we are getting? We are getting n minus 2 factorial multiply by 6 factorial. Such an easy calculation, dear students. Directly NCR formula we have to apply. Now we can cancel out all these terms. And what about denominator? In the denominator we can see the lowest term is n minus 2 factorial. So this n factorial we can write it as n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 factorial. Similarly, we can also write this as n minus 1 into n minus 2 factorial. Once you have written this, we can cancel out this n minus 2 factorial throughout. We can make the calculations a bit easy in this particular case. Now after this, just try to see what we are getting finally. We are getting 2 divided by n minus 1. And here also, see, we have 5 factorial, we have 4 factorial, we have 6 factorial also. 6 factorial also in the same way can be written as 6 into 5 into 4 factorial. This 5 factorial can also be written as 5 into 4 factorial. Why we are doing this? So that we can cancel out this 4 factorial throughout in the denominator, right? So here what do we have? We have 5 remaining here. And what do we have here? We have 1 upon n into n minus 1, right? Plus 1 upon, this is 6 into 5. That's it. So once we have reached to this particular step, we need to just solve it out. We need to find the quadratic equation in terms of n. Just quickly tell me what is the final quadratic equation in the comment section. Let me see how many of you are able to solve this. Yes, the equation corresponding to this, what we are getting is n square minus 13n plus 30 is equal to 0. Right? So what are the possible values? 3 and 10. Simple. Yes or no, students? Tell me fast. Very good, very good. We are getting two particular values, 3 and 10. But see, now in the question, power is n plus 4. So when n is equal to 3, it means n plus 4 is 7. And he is talking about the greatest binomial coefficient. So corresponding to 7, if we take n is equal to 3, what we will get? We will get 7C3 or 7C4, one and the same thing. Right? And if we are talking about the other case, see, here we were talking about two cases. If we are getting 10, so corresponding to 10 also, students, what are the cases? In the second case, we can write it down. If we are taking 10, we'll get 14 here. Similarly, 14 to 14C7. These are the two cases. But see, as per the option, 7C3, as per the option, let us solve 7C3. What is 7C3? Let me solve it here. 7C3, that is 7 into 6 into 5. Right? 3 into 2. Cancel out. This was the shortcut done in the class. So final answer, 35. How many of you have got answer 35? Let me see in the comment section. How many of you are getting the answer for this particular question? Very nice, very nice. So again, one of the easy problem which was based from binomial theorem. Simple question, just to write the general term. Now let us move to the next particular problem. Let us see. So again, one of the simple problem from determinants, matrices and determinants. Determinant is given. See, simple question which is based on the properties. Whenever we are solving, whenever we are discussing matrices and determinants in the class also, These properties we discuss in the class many times. Okay, these are the important properties. Determinant of A is given, and he's talking about determinant of adjoint 4 times he's discussing here. And what is the property in terms of R? That is determinant of A raised to power n minus 1 power R. Yes or no? Whenever adjoint of adjoint A is given R times, and we have to find the det of this. This is the property. Yes or no? So based on this property, we can just solve this particular question. Let us see what will be the final answer. Determinant of A is given, so det of A is 2. What is the value of n? Value of n is 3. That is nothing but the order. So just put it into this. And how many adjoints are involved in this particular question? There are 4 adjoints involved, so R will be 4. So total answer 2 raised to power 3 minus 1, which is 2, again raised to power 4. Right? Some students do a mistake, they will just multiply 2 and 4 here. Please make sure you are not multiplying. Okay, so this is in power. So overall answer 2 raised to power. So 2 raised to power 16. That is a right answer, which is nothing but your B option. So again, one of the simple problem which should be done in the paper. You cannot ignore such questions. Now, another question. Let us talk about the another question now. The number of 3-digit numbers which is divisible by 2 and 3, but not divisible by 4 and 9. A simple problem which is based on inclusion and exclusion principle. So here we are talking about 3-digit numbers which are divisible by 2 and 3. So number divisible by 2 and 3 means number divisible by 6, yes or no? Numbers divisible by 6. And he is saying not divisible by 4 and 9, means not divisible by 36. So we just need to count these numbers. Right? Students, yes or no? Let me see your replies in the chat box. Most of you are active. Yes, very nice, very nice. So how many 3-digit numbers are there? So we'll talk about from 100 to 999, and just we will count these numbers and subtract them. So divisible by 6. Divisible by 6. So how many? 900 numbers are there. Just divide them by 6. Out of this, we want to eliminate those numbers which are not divisible by 4 and 9, means you have to just subtract the numbers which are divisible by 36. That is a simple problem. Let me see your answer in the comment section. Be fast. Be fast, students. Let me see your answer. I'm waiting for your answer. Be fast, be fast. Let us see who is getting the correct answer for this question. Very good, very good. Many of you have replied also. So this is 150 minus 25. So basically 125. A simple problem, simple question, right? So let us move to the further questions. But let me download the PPT first. So let us move to the next problem, which is from limits. Again, an easy question. Whenever question from limits is coming, students, you have to check the format, which format is being asked in the question first. And how to check the format? That is a simple one. How to check the format? Just put x is equal to 0 in this cosecant 0, which is infinity, right? And the moment when you put x is equal to 0 here, cos 0 is 1, again cos 0 1, so here we are getting 5 in the under root. Similarly here sin 0 is 0, but here it is 1 plus 4 5. So 0 minus 0, so here it is infinity into 0 form. This is the format which is in the being asked in the question. Now how to solve? Let us see. Limit x approaches to 0. Now this cosecant I can write it as 1 by sine, right? And now how about these terms? These terms are disturbing us, they are creating problem. What to do? What should be done? The only way out is that yes, we should rationalize them, and the moment you rationalize, things will get much sorted. So let us quickly rationalize it. Right, so this divided by this full divided by 2 cos square x plus 3 cos x with the under root plus under root of cos square x plus sin x plus 4. I hope this step all of you have done. And now students, you have to realize one thing. The moment you put x is equal to 0 in the denominator is not creating us any trouble. That's not troubling us. Why? Because the moment when you put 0 here, you are getting root 5 here. Similarly, when you put x is equal to 0, here this is 1, this is 4, again this is 0, and again this is root 5. So denominator anyhow is now very nice. It's not creating us any problem, which is nothing but 2 root 5. But what about the remaining terms? What about the remaining terms? Just observe. When you put x is equal to 0, this is sine 0, again 0. And when you put x is equal to 0 here, let us simplify the terms first. So limit x approaches to 0. So in the numerator, try to see 2 cos square, and there also 2 cos square is there. The moment you subtract 2 cos square minus cos square, so this will be cos square x, right? And then we have another term which is 3 cos x, right, minus sin x minus 4, just a plus b into a minus b divided by sin x. And the other term which is written, as I've said, that's not creating problem, that is a smiley term, that's not creating problem, which is going towards 1 by 2 root 5. What about this term? This is anyhow going towards 0 by 0 form again. Let us check. When you put x is equal to 0, cos 0 1, again cos 0 is 1, 3 plus 1 4, minus 4 0, because sin 0 is 0, and sin 0 0, again 0 by 0 form. So we should directly apply LH rule here and just check what we are getting. So let me apply LH rule here for you people. So cos square derivative 2 cos x into derivative cos, which is minus sine. So I can write minus sine 2x. Another 3 cos x means minus 3 sin x, right? And what about this sin x derivative? Cos x, and derivative of or again 0 divided by cos x. Now the moment you put x is equal to 0 here, try to see this is 0, but these terms are minus 1. So overall answer from this particular part, what is the contribution? Contribution is minus 1. And what is the contribution from smiley? That is 1 upon 2 root 5. So overall answer students, that is a D option. That is D option. Such a simple problem. Same kind of problems we are discussing in detail, and they are given in your modules also. So I hope you are comfortable with this particular question. Let me see your replies. Very nice, very nice. So moving on to the next problem. Let us see to one more question. Easy problem again. Easy problem from differential equation. One of the standard question, students. The same kind of questions we discuss in class also in much detail. What is the format of the differential equation? That is nothing but dy by dx plus py is equal to q. What is this? This is nothing but linear differential equation. So direct question from linear differential equation has come. So for that, what we have to do? Step number 1, we have to find integrating factor. What is your integrating factor here? That is nothing but integration of e raised to power p. What is p? P is nothing but x upon 1 plus x square, right? So e raised to a p dx, x upon 1 plus x square with respect to x. Integration of this. So when you put 1 plus x square is equal to t, you can see here very simple this is. So 2x dx is equal to dt. So x into dx, that is nothing but e raised to power, yes, dt by 2, right? And here what we have, this is nothing but t. So the integrating factor, students, come out to be very easy. That is e raised to power half of log t, or you can say e raised to power log of under root t. E and log merge, this is nothing but root t. And what is root t? That is nothing but root of 1 plus x square. Such a simple step. All what we are doing here is we are just calculating the integrating factor based on the direct formula. I hope you all are comfortable with this step. Let me see your replies also. Be active, students, in the chat box. I want to see you active. Waiting for all of your replies. Now the moment you have calculated integrating factor, we can move towards the solution part of the differential equation. What is the solution of differential equation? Let us write. So y multiplied by integrating factor is equal to integration of q into integrating factor plus constant c with respect to x. So what is integrating factor? That is root of 1 plus x square. And what is your q? What is q? Under root x. So under root x divided by under root 1 plus x square. And integrating factor already we have calculated 1 plus x square plus constant c. Try to see this will get cancelled out. Nothing can be more easy than this particular question, students. This is one of the easiest problem. So integration of root x dx. So x raised to power 3 by 2, right? X raised to power 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2. And now we have to apply the initial conditions. What are the initial conditions in the question? Let us see what is given to us. Y at 0 is 0. Y at 0 is 0, and you have to check the value of y at 1. Y at 0 means put the value of x also 0, y also 0. So we're getting 0 is equal to 0 plus c. So what do we get? We get c is equal to 0. The moment we have calculated c is equal to 0, just put it back here. What we are getting? Y multiplied by root of 1 plus x square is equal to, yes, tell me, 2 by 3 into x raised to power 3 by 2. Such a simple problem. Now just substitute the value of x is equal to 1. Why, sir? Because he is asking y at 1. When the value of x is 1, put x is equal to 1. So what do we get? Y multiplied by root 2 is equal to 2 by 3. Yes or no? Or we can send this on the other side also. Y is equal to 2 by 3 into root 2, or nothing but root 2 by 3. Such a simple problem based on differential equation. So root 2 by 3, which option, students? Which option? C option. Simple question which is based on linear differential equations. Now moving on to the next one. Let us consider one more easy problem. Question from vector 3D. Such a simple question again being asked in the paper. Same kind of question, same kind of models we have discussed in the class in detail. And one observation is, whatever questions they are coming from past 5 years, same kind of questions are being repeated in maths. So whichever students they are going to write the paper in the next few days, in the next sessions, make sure you at least prepare for maths past 5-year papers. You go through all the 5-year papers, because same kind of models are being coming again and again. So you should be comfortable enough. Anyhow, let us talk about this particular question now. A is given, B is given, and C is a vector which is coplanar with A and B. And A dot C is given, and C is perpendicular to B. So a lot of information is given, and we have to find the magnitude of C. One of the simple method is, what a layman will do, he'll consider C vector to be C1 I cap, C2. So what normal human beings will do, they will consider C1 I cap, C2 J cap, C3 K cap, and anyhow using all these conditions, because he's saying C is coplanar with A and B, so he will apply box product. He'll say box of A, B, C is 0. One condition he'll get from here in terms of C1, C2, C3, and another condition he'll get from here, A dot C is equal to 5 in terms of C1, C2, C3. Also, C is perpendicular to B means C dot B is 0. Another condition he'll get in terms of C1, C2, C3 from this. So three unknowns are there, three equations are there. You can solve them simultaneously and calculate the value of C1, C2, C3. But students, you are very good at calculations. If you are applying this particular method, you are making three equations, solving them simultaneously. I think you are going to waste a lot of time in the paper, because the way you are solving right now is not same while you are writing the paper. State of mind while writing paper is totally different. So is there any alternative method for this particular question? Let us see. Same kind of approaches we have discussed in detail when we were talking about some PYQs of vector 3D. So same kind of technique we'll try to apply here. First thing, C is coplanar with A and B. So alternative solution, because C is coplanar with A and B, so we can write C in the combination of A and B. Yes or no? Let me see your replies in the comment section. Be fast, be fast. Very nice, very nice. Most of you are active in the comment section. I can see your replies. Great, great, great. Okay, now C is written in the linear combination of A and B. Just try to observe. A dot C is 5. This is a vector equation. And what is the beauty of vector equation? We can take dot, cross, modulus, whatever we wish to do in that particular question. So what I am doing, I am taking dot with respect to A on both sides. I'm taking dot with respect to A on both sides. Because now C dot B, also C dot B is 0 and A dot C. A dot C or C dot A1 and the same thing. Right? From here, A dot C, try to see what is the value. Value is 5 is equal to lambda times A dot A. We can take the dot product of A with itself. What we are getting? We'll get 1 plus 4 plus 9. Plus 9, right? Plus mu times B dot A. We can take the dot product of A and B also. Let me write it here. What is A dot B? So that is nothing but 3 into 1, right? Plus 2 and then again minus 3, which is nothing but 2. Yes or no? So A dot B or B dot A, one and the same thing, which is nothing but 2. So one equation we are getting from this particular, that is 5 is equal to, so this is 14 times lambda plus 2 times mu. That is one of the equation which we are getting. Now another equation we can also calculate. Why? Because C is perpendicular to B, means C dot B is 0. C dot B is 0. So what we can do, we can take dot product with respect to B on both sides. So if we take dot with respect to B, what we are getting? We are getting C dot B is equal to lambda times A dot B plus mu times B dot B. And the important thing here is C dot B is already 0 is equal to lambda times A dot B. A dot B we have already calculated, which is nothing but 2. And similarly B dot B, what is B dot with B? We can calculate it quickly, which will be nothing but 9 plus 1 plus 1. So another equation we are getting here 11 times mu plus 2 times lambda is equal to 0. Try to understand, we have reduced our calculation. Rather than solving 3 equations, 3 unknowns, we have reduced it to 2 equations and 2 unknowns. So we can solve that part more easily. Yes or no? And what we have to find? We have to find mod of C. So just take dot with respect to C in this particular equation. So what do we get? C dot C, which is mod of C square. Focus, is equal to lambda times, yes, lambda times A dot C plus mu times B dot C. Try to see B dot C is already 0. B dot C, this portion, this particular part is already 0. So remaining A dot with C. A dot with C is 5. So all what you have to find is the value of lambda. So just solve these 2 equations. This is your equation number 1. This is your equation number 2. You can find the value of mu from here. So 11 times mu is equal to minus 2 into lambda, or you can say mu is nothing but minus 2 by 11 into lambda. You can put the value of mu from here to here. So what do we get? We get 5 is equal to 14 times lambda, try to see, plus 2 times mu, and the value of mu in terms of lambda we have already seen, minus 2 lambda by 11, the same value here. So why we are doing this? Again, let me bring you back here, because mod of C square is nothing but lambda times, because we know that mod of C square is lambda times A dot C. A dot C is nothing but 5. So we have to just find the value of lambda. So everything which we are doing right now is to calculate the value of lambda. So we can just simplify this. So 5 is equal to lambda, we can take common, 14 minus 4 by 11. Let me see your answer in the chat section. Tell me what is the value of lambda. Quickly all of you. Find the value of lambda. and put it back in that equation. Tell me what is the final answer. Students, be fast. Yes, Kaviraj. What is the answer? Very good, very good. You are very active in the chat section. Very good, very good. So the value of lambda will come out to be nothing but 11 by 30, as most of you are writing also in the chat section. Very nice. So value of lambda is there. So we can just substitute the value of lambda from there to here. So 11 by 30 into 5, which is nothing but 11 by 6. So easily, what is the value of mod of C? Nothing but under root 11 by 6. Students, I hope you have reached to this particular. Under root 11 by 6, which option? Which option? Option number D. Yes or no? Such a simple problem, which could be done in two ways. One of the way, we have discussed already this kind of questions in much detail in class. So you should be familiar enough with such kind of techniques. I hope this is clear. Let me take you to some another problems, simple problems. Let's see to this question. Question which is involving in inverse trigo, right? So alpha and beta are real numbers which satisfy this equation. What is the equation? Secant square of tan inverse alpha cosecant square of cot inverse beta is equal to 36. At the same time, alpha plus beta is equal to 8, and then you have to find the value of alpha square plus beta. Students, let me see your replies in the chat section. How many of you have attempted to this question? Be fast, be fast. Tell me your replies. Be good, be quick, be quick. Yes, Revant, what is the answer? Good, good, good. Now, time for me to solve. Let us see how to solve this particular question. Because it's given tan inverse alpha, let me consider at the end of the day it's an angle. So let tan inverse alpha is equal to A. So alpha is nothing but tan A. At the same time, cot inverse beta, let it be B. So we can find the value of beta is nothing but cot of B. So we calculated the value of alpha and beta. So what is the condition, boys and girls? Secant square of tan inverse A, what is it? Sir, A. What is cot inverse of beta? What we have taken as B. So cosecant square, and this is cosecant square B is equal to 36. Alpha is nothing but tan A. Alpha is nothing but tan A, and beta is nothing but cot B. So we can write the value of secant square. What is secant square? Secant square is nothing but 1 plus tan square. So this is nothing but 1 plus tan square means 1 plus alpha square. Right? Yes or no? And similarly, what is this? 1 plus cot square. And what is cot square? This is nothing but beta. So 1 plus beta square. Are you all comfortable with this step? Most of you? Yes or no? Very good, very good. You're doing great job. So alpha square plus beta square is nothing but 34. What else? Two equations are there. One equation is here. Where is the other equation? Where is the other equation? Look there. Alpha plus beta is equal to 8. So what is the task? Task is just to solve these two equations simultaneously and calculate the value of alpha and beta. Because the moment you calculate alpha and beta, put it back here, you will get alpha square plus beta. And now how to find alpha and beta? Let us do these calculations also. As you people are very nice at calculations, I know it very well. So alpha square plus beta square is equal to 34, and at the same time alpha plus beta is 8. So from this particular part, a square plus b square. A square plus b square is nothing but a plus b whole square minus 2ab. So a plus b whole square minus 2ab. This is nothing but 34. What is alpha plus beta whole square? Alpha plus beta is 8. So square is 64. And bring this 34 on this side. Right? Is equal to 2 into alpha into beta. Students, try to see. 30 is equal to 2 alpha beta. Focus on the screen. So alpha into beta is equal to 15. Yes or no? Alpha into beta is 15, and alpha plus beta is equal to 8. Can you find the roots? Can you find the roots quickly? Yes. 5 and 3. Very good, very good. 5 and 3. So alpha, beta, what are the possibilities? Either this is 5, this is 3, right? Or vice versa also. But now, what is the question? In question it's saying alpha is greater than beta. So if alpha is greater, it means this particular case is being asked in the question. So we are going to reject this case. So alpha is 5, beta is 3, and in the question, what is he demanding? He was demanding alpha square plus beta. Therefore, alpha square plus beta is nothing but 25 plus 3, which is 28. Boys and girls, tell me, 28, B option. How many of you have got B option? Let me see your replies. How many of you are active in the comment section? Very good, very good. Most of you are active, replying also. Kaviraj, very good, very good. Revant also replying in most of the questions. Great job, great job. Now, let's talk about the next particular problem also. So, more or less what we are realizing when we are doing the discussion or the analysis part of today's exam, that repetition is the key. Questions are being repeated from the previous paper again and again. Same kind of models which we have discussed in the class are being asked in paper itself. So let me take you to another problem now. One of the interesting problem which we discussed in the class also. Very standard question from probability. Read the question, all of you. Two persons A and B throw a pair of dice alternatively. For A to win, he should throw a sum of 5 before B throw a sum of 8. If A throw first, then what is the probability that A wins? So here we have to talk about what is the probability that A is going to win the match. So for A to win, so if two people, now they are having a game, what are the possibilities? The game started and A won in the first match itself. A won in the first match itself. A won. That is the first case. Or what is the next case? Or what happens? A loses. B also loses. Sir, why B loses? B can win also. We are talking about winning of A. We are not talking about winning of B. B has to lose. B has no other option. And then A wins. That is second case. Third case, or what will happen? A loses. Again B loses. B has to lose. He has no other option. Okay. Again A loses. Right? Again A loses. B loses. And then A wins. This will continue infinite times. That is the motivation behind solving this particular question. Right? Such kind of problems we have seen in the class also. So same concept. So what is the required probability? Probability of this particular event, that will be probability of this. Individual probabilities we can calculate. So probability of the event, that is nothing but probability of A plus probability of A bar into probability of B bar into probability of A, right? Plus probability of A bar into probability of B bar, okay, square of this into probability of A. So we can see we are going to get infinite GP here. We are going to get an infinite GP here. So now because pair of dice is being thrown, and for A to win, what is he saying? For A to win, he should throw a sum of 5. So total possibilities, how many total possibilities are there? 36. And for sum to be 5, how many possible cases are there? How many possible cases are there, students? Let me see in your chat section something which we study in 9th or 10th class also. Tell me. 4 cases. Very nice. Good. So which is 1 by 9, which is nothing but 1 by 9. So probability of success is 1 by 9. So failure will be 8 by 9. 1 minus 1 by 9. Right? And similarly, we can also talk about probability of B. Right? When is B going to win? B is going to win when the sum will be 8. Right? Now let us see, when is the sum 8? Sum is going to be 8. What are the various possibilities? Sum is 8. Let us see from the first row, 1, 6. So sum is not going to come out, right? So 2, 6 will come, right? 3, 5 will come. Similarly, 4, 4 will also come. 5, 3 will come. Yes or no? 6, 2 will come. Yes or no? So these are the cases when the sum is going to be 8. So how many cases? 5 cases are there. 5 by, so probability of B, that is 5 by 36. That is the probability of B to win, but we need probability of failure, that is 1 minus this. So 1 probability of B bar, that will be 1 minus probability of B, which is nothing but 31 by 36. Just put these values. Probability of A again 1 by 9. Next, probability of A bar, probability of B bar, which is 8 by 9 into 31 by 36 whole square into probability of A. What is the probability of A? 1 by 9, and so on. What is this? This is nothing but infinite GP. And what is the sum of infinite GP? That is nothing but A upon 1 minus R. This formula we have to apply here. So this is A. What is A? 1 by 9 divided by, so 1 by 9 minus divided by 1 minus R. What is R? R is nothing but these terms, because 1 by 9 will get cancelled out. So 8 by 9 multiply by 31 by 36. Now quickly solve this part and tell me what is the answer. Be fast, be fast. So what is the final answer? What is the final answer? Yes, most of you are replying in the chat section. Second option, yes. What is the answer in the chat section? Be fast. B option, most of you are replying. Very good. So final answer 9 by 19. Boys and girls, such a simple problem in today's paper. You should solve such kind of problems. If you have missed these problem in the paper, then you are at loss. This was a bonus question, because same kind of questions we discuss in much detail in the class itself. So now moving on to the next problem. Let us see some more easy questions. So as I promised with all of you, that statistics is one of the topic from which one question will definitely come. So try to see such a simple problem from statistics is coming. Sigma xi is given, sum of xi's are given, I running from 1 to 10, their squares is given. If the observation 4 and 5 are replaced by 6 and 8, what is the new variance? Same question, same category, same model is being repeated again. So when we are talking about sigma xi I running from 1 to 10, what is the meaning? Meaning is x1 plus x2 plus x3 up to so on to x10. This is nothing but 55. Now if the observation 4 and 5 are replaced by 6 and 8, it means up to 8 observation x1 plus x2 and so on to x8. Initially what were the observation? Initially maybe the two terms were 4 and 5, right? And now we are going to replace these terms by 6 and 8. This has to be 6, this has to be 8. Maybe some error is there while writing the terms. So this was replaced by 6, so gap of 2. This was replaced by 8, gap of 3, 2 and 3, 5. So now this sigma, when you are going to replace by 6 and 8, what is the summation going to be? It is going to be 60. You are going to add 5 on both sides, right? So what is this? x1 plus x2 up to x8 and plus this. And how many terms are there? 10 terms are there. So x1 plus x2 plus so on to 6 plus 8 divided by 10. This is nothing but 6. We divide both sides by 10. What is this? This is nothing but mean. Yes or no? What is this? This is mean. Expectation. E of x. So what is E of x? That is nothing but 6. Why we are calculating mean? Because in the question itself he is talking about the variance. So we have to involve mean somehow. Now at the same time, students, what is being given? Sigma xi square. Sigma xi square I running from 1 to 10, that is 328. 328. So from here, now again observation 4 and 5 are replaced by 6 and 8. So same story has to be involved in this particular part also. So this is x1 square, x2 square and so on to x8 square plus, what is this? 4 and 5 means 4 square and 5 square. Yes or no? This sum has come out to be 328. And now when you are going to replace this by 6 and 8, what we are going to get? x1 square, x2 square and so on to x8 square Here we'll add 6 square and try to see 6 square and boys 8 square. All of you, tell me what is the sigma of this? What is the summation? Tell me, replies in the chat section. Most of you are not that much active now. You're feeling sleepy, I guess. Be active, be active. Yes. Jeevan, what is your answer? Very good, very good. So answer 387. 387, as most of you have written also in the chat section. Very good. So you guys are very active. Divide by 10, right? Because again we will talk about the variance part now, which is nothing but 38.7. Yes or no? And now we have to just find the variance, find the new variance. So with respect to the new data, we will calculate the variance, that is E of x square. So variance V of x. So E of x square, expectation of x square, minus E of x whole square. Try to see everything is there with you. E of x is already 6. So just put the value here. So this is 36, right? And what about E of x square? This is nothing but E expectation of x square, right? So this is nothing but your 38.7. Try to see such a simple problem. So what is the output? What is the final output? What is the final output? Tell me. 2.7. 2.7. Which option? Which option will go by B option? So simple question from statistics based on the direct formula of variance, right? 2.7. Yes, we know, totally correct answer. 2.7 is totally right. Very good, very good. More replies I want from all of you before we approach towards the next question. You guys should be very active. Okay, moving on to the next problem now. Let us see one more question here. So a question which is from involving functional equation as well as limits. Such kind of questions are more important, which are involving two concepts simultaneously. So you know what is the task in this particular question? Task is to find function f of x first. If you are able to find f of x, then this question is decoded. So finding f of x in itself is a challenge for students. So let us see what is the first equation. First equation is f of x plus 6 times f of 1 by x. This is equal to 3 by 2x minus 5 by 13. This is the first equation. And now we have to find f of x. So what we will do, we will replace x with 1 by x. We'll replace x with 1 by x. Why we are doing this? Because this is true for all x except 0, all reals except 0. So the moment we replace x with 1 by x, so what we are getting, f of 1 by x plus 6 into f of x, that is equal to 3x by 2 minus 5 by 13. That is the second equation which we are getting. So in order to find f of x, now what we are going to do, we are just going to replace the value of f of x from this particular equation and we'll put it here, something similar to solving two equations and two unknowns. So to solve 1 and 2, or alternative way is just multiply second equation with 6 and subtract it. Okay, so if you multiply second equation by 6, so what we are getting, 6 times f of 1 by x, right, plus 36 into f of x, that is equal to, so 18, so no, x by 2 because we are multiplying by 6, and similarly 30 by 13, right? So this is nothing but 9. And now what is this? This is the first equation. Just subtract these equations. Let it be third equation. Subtract first and third. So 6 times f of 1 by x, 6 times f of 1 by x will get cancelled out. From here we are getting 36 f of x. And there what do we have? We have simply f of x. That is equal to, yes, what is it equal to? 9x minus 30 by 13, right? And along with that we have minus 3 by 2x minus 5 by 13. That is the part. And try to see, once you have solved this, we are eligible, or we are able to find the value of f of x. Why? Because this is nothing but 35 f of x. which is further equal to 9x minus, club this term, 3 by 2x, okay, and minus 30 by 13, and minus will be plus 5 by 13, means minus 25 by 13, right? Minus, sorry, 25 by 13. So let us write f of x again. 35 f of x, that is equal to 9x minus 3 by 2x minus 25 by 13. This is something which we have calculated in terms of f of x. Or we can also divide by 35. Okay, we should rather divide by 35 also. So 9x by 35 minus 3 by 2x into 35 minus 25 by this is 35 into 13. Now why we are doing all this stuff? Because this is being asked in this particular part for the limit x approaches to 0. So limit x approaches to 0 now. Let me write that step first. Limit x approaches to 0. 1 by x into alpha plus 1 by fx, 1 by f of x. This is given to me. How much? This is given to us, that is equal to 1 by beta. So this is a part that limit is existing. 1 by beta, and you have to find again alpha square plus beta. So first of all we have to find the value of alpha. So what we are going to do, so we can cancel out this. This will get cancelled out anyhow. Just put the value of f of x here. So 1 by x into alpha plus 9 by 35 into x minus 3 by, so this will be 70 into x minus 5 by 13 into 7. This is your f of x. 1 by f of x is there. Let us see. 1 by f of x is there. So it should be actually f of x. Let us see to the question once. F of x or f of 1 by x. Let me see. Yes, it should be f of x. It should not be 1 by f of x. So we should do that correction here. It should be f of x here. F of x here, right? So the moment now we are taking limit x approaches to 0, the moment we take limit x approaches to 0, this is limit is given to us as finite. This limit is given to us as finite 1 by beta. So all what we have to do here is, this particular part from the limit is already going towards 0. That's not at all creating problem. Now if this term is totally equal to this term, from there we can easily calculate the value of alpha, right? And then we can just equate these two terms and we'll get the finite value of beta. So that is the approach, that is 1 by x into alpha minus or is equal to 3 by 70 into x. So we can cancel out this x, we can directly find the value of alpha, which is 70 by 3. Similarly, we can just equate this, so we'll get the value of beta also, which is nothing but, so minus 17 into 13 into 7 by 5. So these are the calculations. So idea should be clear for this particular problem. What is the idea? Whenever functional equation is involved, what we have to do, f of x is there, f of 1 by x is there. So the main idea is we will always replace the equation x with 1 by x. We will solve the two equations simultaneously and somehow we will find the value of f of x. Once we have calculated f of x, so here we'll just put the value, because these are some memory based questions. So idea should be clear, approach should be clear, calculations will we can check afterwards also, that whether here it was 1 by f of x or f of x, that we can see afterwards also, right? So moving on to the next problem. Find the product of all the real roots of this particular equation. So what is this equation? X square minus 9x plus 11 whole square minus x minus 4 into x minus 5, that is x square minus 9x plus 20 is equal to 2. This is the equation. So now what we are going to do, we should substitute the value of x square minus 9x plus 11 is equal to t. So the moment you put it equal to t, what we get? We get t square minus x square minus 9x, that is nothing but t minus 11, okay, plus 20 is equal to 2. So students, what we are getting? So t square minus t, this will be plus 9, so minus 9 minus 2 means minus 11 is equal to 0. So you made a quadratic equation in terms of t. So we can also find the roots of this particular equation. So what will be t? T is nothing but minus b plus minus root b square minus 4ac means 45 by 2 into a. So we're getting two roots from here, right? So this can further be written as 1 plus or minus 3 into root 5 by 2, right? So the value of t is here, so we should substitute this value in this particular equation. So if we substitute the value of t, we have to make two cases, students. X square minus 9x plus 11 minus t means first value of t, possible values 3 root 5 by 2 is equal to 0. Or what could be the other equation? Other equation could be x square minus 9x plus 11 minus, if you take the other value, which is 1 minus 3 root 5 by 2 is equal to 0. So you made the quadratic equation. Now task is for you. You have to calculate the discriminant of this. So b square minus 4ac, you will see discriminant will be positive in both the cases. If discriminant is positive in both the cases, it means all the four roots, they are real, because he's asking actually the product of all the real roots. Because d is positive in both the cases, it means real roots are coming from this side also, real roots are coming from this side also. So finally we have to take the product of roots. So rather than finding the roots, we can go back to the first step only, and we can write the c by a value directly from here. What is the value of c by a? Which is nothing but 121, because square will be there. Minus from here, what is the contribution? 20. Yes or no? Try to see. And do not forget, students, on the right hand side also there is 1 2. Do not forget about that 2 also. So subtract 2 also. Final answer 99 you are going to get. So again, this was a question. A bit of calculation also involved in this question. At the same time, concept also involved in this question. So we'll not categorize it into a very simple problem, but again, a question which could be doable in the paper. Yes, moving on to the next question. Again, kind of problems which we study in detail in permutations and combinations. So let S be the set of 10 distinct primes, and A is the set of product of 2 or more elements from the set P, so from the set S. So anyways, set S contains how many elements? 10 elements, maybe A1, A2 and so on to A10. And what is set A doing? Set A is saying it is the set of product of 2 or more elements from here. So 2 or more elements will take from in this set, okay, and we'll formulate one more set P. What is P? Collection of all xy such that x is coming from this set S, which is this particular set of primes, and y is coming from set A, which was nothing but the product of 2 or more elements from the set S, and y is divided by x. Y is divided, in actual it should be y is divisible by x. It should be y is divisible by x, not divided. Y is divisible by x. So now, very simple problem. Quickly also we can do it. Idea behind this problem is very important. So what kind of elements will be there in set A? Product of 2 or more elements. It means, if let us assume that first element is A1. If first element is A1, what could be the other element? Other element could be A1 into A2. Yes or no? Because it is containing product of 2 or more than 2 elements. So 2 are allowed. Will this element also be there? A1, A2, A3. Will this element also be there? Let me see your replies in the comment section. Yes. Will this element be there? Very good, very good. Most of you are saying yes, this is totally, it could also be there. What about A1 comma A1? Will this element also be there? No, this element won't be there. Why? Because this set contained two product of two or more elements. So this particular element is not allowed. So that is the idea. Similarly, many other elements may be there. A1 comma A1 A1 A2 A4, maybe this also there. At the same time, we should emphasize on one more concept here, that why again I am writing this A1 here again and again. Because you have to read the statement. Y should be divisible by x. Y should be divisible. So whatever you are writing here in y, that should be multiple of A1. Similarly, if you are starting with A2, it should be multiple of A2 also, and so on. Like that, various elements we have to write. Now, simple technique, if we are fixing A1, what are the various possibilities which we can calculate here? We may include A1, A1 though has to be included, A2 may be included, may not be included. Similarly, A3 may be included, may not be included, and so on. Total 10 elements were there, one we have already excluded, so other possibilities 2 raised to power 9. At the same time, students, we have to omit this particular case. So what was that particular case? When we are considering the same element in 2 raised to power 9 minus 1. And this we have just discussed about A1. With respect to A1, it could be also A2, it could be A3, it could be anything. So how many possibilities? 10 possibilities. So multiply by 10. Multiply by 10. Are we all clear with this particular concept? And that will give you nothing but the cardinality of set P. This is nothing but the number of elements in set P. Quickly do this calculation and tell me your reply in the chat section. Be fast. I'm waiting for your replies. Be quick, be quick. Let me see your replies. Yes, Ravi, you are very active in the class. Okay, we can see the replies. Most of you are replying. Okay. So which option? That is your A option. We'll go with the A option, right? Most of you have replied also. Very nice, very nice. So with this we should conclude the session for the day. That was all about your paper discussion from the math section, part 1. So other teachers will be joining with me.
Yes, sir. For final conclusion about mathematics.
Yeah, so mathematics as usual a bit challenging it was so far as calculation is concerned, but otherwise in comparison to the previous paper, it was a bit easy this time, bit easy. So, but let us see how students have performed.
No.
Right?
Actually, students are saying math is taking so much of time.
Yeah.
They were saying today somewhat better. It's really good thing for our students.
Yes, at least good for us maths teachers also. We'll feel a bit relaxed now. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Correct. Correct. Yeah. Correct. Correct. Yes. Correct, sir.
Then math used to be 1 hour, then math to be 1 hour 20 minutes.
Correct.
I think we should finish 40 to 50 minutes.
Yes.
And we are remaining 1 hour 20 minutes.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. What about chemistry, sir?
Yes, chemistry part as already I said. Try to refer your class notes, whatever the teacher is giving, and it will be very good. So those who are taking this, follow these things. NCERT is regular, related. Wish you all the best. One more time, students. Just be confident. The teachers are coming very easy. Just be cool. Don't get like the teachers are very based on the conceptual basic concept, and no need to get any anxiety. So especially those who are going to come like next to batches, 4 batches, be very confident. The questions are very, very fundamental in physics. If you are clear with the concept, you can attempt every question. So all the best. I hope all of you will score this high marks. Thank you.
And same from maths also, I'll say. Students, whoever is preparing for the coming sessions, please make sure that you attempt at least previous 5-year papers, because same kind of models are being repeated again and again. So just attempt those 5-year paper, and all the very best from our side. Wishing you all the luck. Let us see your bright results. Okay, all the best. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.